Metallica did it again, Bittersweet Mastodon, and a perfectly normal day for Iron Maiden. Metal's life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. Bittersweet Mastodon. Mastodon released what possibly is the most bittersweet release of their entire career, paying tribute to their legendary ex-bandmate, Brent Hinds. So, the new Mastodon song is titled Your Ghost Again, and is the band's first new release since guitarist Brent Hinds' departure and his tragic death in a road accident back in 2025. And according to the band, this new track is a heartfelt tribute to their longtime bandmate, with the drummer Brand Daler explaining that this song is about being in familiar places where you used to be with certain people. And for Mastodon, that place is apparently their studio, where Daler kept seeing Hinds after his passing at the exact spot the legendary guitarist used to stand with his guitar. And you know what? I think this is pretty awesome, because, I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. We all remember how Brent Hinds parted ways with Mastodon back in 2025. But given everything that happened after that, and given the whole fact that no matter what anyone may say, but Mastodon would never have been where they are at today without Brent Hinds' input, I think the least this band can do is dedicate their first new material to their legendary ex-bandmate. And according to Troy Saunders, the lyrics of this song are simply filled with gratitude to Brent. But nevertheless, for Mastodon, life goes on. And alongside this announcement, they also announced a massive North American tour titled the Poisonous Weapons Tour, together with Death Haven and Alcest, which will commence on September 16th in Orlando, Florida, and will feature, at least for now, 27 dates across the United States and Canada. I saw your ghost again. Here guys, super quick, just simply have to point out that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to this channel. So if you're not one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching here, I would really, and I mean like really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. Justifying AI Ozzy Osbourne. The Osbourne family has finally responded to the backlash around the idea of creating the AI version of Ozzy Osbourne, which, just as a reminder, has been announced several weeks ago and will be basically a digital avatar version of Ozzy Osbourne, which will be interacting with his fans. And so this week, Jack Osbourne has given a bit more explanation about what it actually will be like, saying that this won't be just ChatGPT with Ozzy's face slapped on it, and instead will be a closed system built only from verified interviews, recordings, and material approved by the family, stating that the reason behind it, at least for him, is to make sure that Ozzy's name will never be forgotten. And here's the thing, guys, you know, a couple of weeks ago when this was announced, I was actually rather skeptical of this idea. But now, after hearing the reasoning behind it and understanding what it actually will be like, I have to say that I still think that it's a terrible idea. No, seriously, I'm a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, but I would not want a digital version of him interacting with me after he passed away. And yeah, I do understand that Ozzy Osbourne's family can do whatever they want with the legacy of their father. I mean, he is their relative, of course. But for me, no matter how closed this system will actually be, it's still gonna be a hard no.
No.
But by the way, what do you guys personally think about it? Am I overreacting about it? Or do you think that this is absolutely normal and I should just chill out? Please let us know in the comments. I'm actually really curious to find out. And here, a special shout out to all my patrons and all of the YouTube channel members. Guys, thanks to you and thanks to everyone who purchases Metal Pilgrim merch from all around the world. I am actually able to release these videos amidst all the craziness of living in Ukraine. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And if any of you would like to support the show, just know that you can do so via the links in the description to this video. Avatar's Hidden Song. Avatar have released a brand new standalone single titled Crying Fire. But the most interesting thing is that it's not really a new song. According to vocalist Johannes Eckerstrom, the track was recorded during the sessions for last year's Don't Go in the Forest, made the final shortlist for the album, and the band actually considered to be one of the strongest songs on that record. And that's exactly why they decided to not include it on the track list, and instead save their best track for later.
My time has come.
Now, I gotta say that this is either a brilliant marketing strategy or a level of self-control most other bands simply do not possess. But overall, I gotta say that, well, you guys have been asking me to check out Avatar for years now, and I actually have. But truth be told, I didn't really care that much about them. And then last year I saw them open for Iron Maiden in Frankfurt, and although I can't say that their music hooked me that much, well, I absolutely loved the show. And I definitely was entertained. And then I saw them opening for Metallica just a couple of weeks ago, weirdly enough once again in Frankfurt. And that's when I got hooked. And as a newbie in the world of Avatar, I just have to point out that I simply love how entertaining and hardworking this band is, and how it just keeps on growing insanely from a year to a year. Metallica does it again. Another week, and yet another record broken by Metallica. This time the band has performed in front of 94,000 fans at Berlin's Olympia Stadium, by which broke yet another record and performed the biggest stadium concert in the history of Germany. Like, overall in German history. And the craziest thing is that this is actually by far not the first record broken by Metallica this year alone. Just a few weeks ago, they packed more than 90,000 people in Athens Olympic Stadium, setting of course yet another record there as well. And at this point, it actually feels like M72, which has, by the way, already broken a record for the longest metal tour ever, is just there to keep breaking records night after night. Like, literally, that's its only purpose. And honestly, this actually amazes me about Metallica, because at this stage of their career, they definitely do not have to prove anything to anyone anymore. Yet they still keep surprising you. And as most of you guys know, I actually was able to witness Metallica's concert in Frankfurt, actually both of them for my birthday this year, and I already prepared a rather long and a very honest review of the M72 tour, from the view of a person who actually hasn't seen Metallica for 5 years since their 40th anniversary concert, which should be out in just a couple of days, so definitely not miss it. But for now, I just have to say that this just once again shows that no matter what anyone may say, Metallica today is possibly way more relevant than they ever were, and yes, they are still the biggest metal band on the planet, and I honestly don't even know if anyone will ever be able to top that. See you soon, you crazy motherfucker. Ace Frehley's guitar. Ace Frehley's guitar has changed its owner, as this week the iconic instrument has finally been sold for a mere $500,000.
What?
So, as we spoke about it earlier, the iconic 1975 Gibson Les Paul was sold as a part of Music Icon sale at the Julian auction for $512,000, if we want to be precise. And the craziest thing is that it wasn't even Ace Frehley's most used guitar ever. I mean, yeah, Ace did use it at the legendary 1977 shows at Tokyo's Budokan, which broke attendance records set by the Beatles, as well as played this guitar on the Love Gun album, and continued using it as one of his main instruments on tours until 1979, yet since then it was mostly used as a backup instrument for him. And honestly, I just have to say this. Kiss collectors are officially the most dedicated and the most insane collectors in the world of rock and metal. And while I can never even imagine justifying spending over $500,000 on an instrument, even that iconic, I absolutely admire their dedication and their unwavering love and support for everything Kiss related. And now the time has come for your favorite part of the video, so let's take a look at 5 latest metal releases from this week, which although did not get their own segments in this video, are still definitely worthy of your attention. The 69 Eyes released I Survived, their 13th studio album and first full-length release since West End. The album was produced by Johnny Lee Michaels, who has worked with the band for decades, and according to the frontman Utica69, the album revolves around themes of survival, resilience, and finding strength in difficult times. Evanescence released Sanctuary, their first studio album since The Bitter Truth. The record was co-produced by Amy Lee, Zach Cervini, and former Bring Me the Horizon member Jordan Fish, and the work on the album stretched over more than 3 years, making it one of the longest development cycles in the band's history. Evergrey released Architects of a New Weave via Napalm Records. The album was once again produced by Tom S. Englund and Jonas Ekdahl, continuing the partnership that defined the band's sound over the past couple of releases. And the title reflects the idea of rebuilding and reshaping one's future after hardship, a recurrent theme throughout the album. Canadian progressive metal band Protest the Hero released Mouthpiece and announced their new studio album A Calculated Use of Sound, which will be released on the 24th of October. The album was produced by longtime collaborator Dwayne Halleck and is described by the vocalist Roddy Walker as some of the most collaborative songwriting the band has ever done. Electric Callboy teamed up with the Offspring for the single Let the Good Times Roll. The collaboration brings together 2 generations of high-energy alternative music and arrived alongside both bands' busy summer festival schedules. The release also marks one of the highest-profile guest appearances in Electric Callboy's career to date. Leaked Guns N' Roses. Time to die! Something rather unexpected came from the Guns N' Roses camp. Well, not really from their camp. A previously unseen rough cut of their iconic and officially unreleased Perfect Crime documentary just leaked online. What? Now, in case you guys don't know, this documentary, often mentioned as the most sought-after part of Guns N' Roses history and dedicated to the band's Use Your Illusion era, was originally assembled in 1994 and was supposed to be approximately 90 minutes long, with the footage that appeared this week adding another 38 minutes, featuring plenty of behind-the-scenes materials from the band's 1991-1993 tour, which, as we all know, was one of the most notorious tours in rock history. You in the jungle, baby! Now, although I believe many fans have seen at least some bits of Perfect Crime documentary, despite it of course never being officially released by the band, this new leak was completely unseen by pretty much anyone before this week. And of course, since then has already been removed from YouTube and pretty much elsewhere. Which I think is rather interesting, because I feel like Perfect Crime is like the worst kept secret in rock and roll. And although officially, yes, it does remain one of the biggest rock mysteries, still, I feel like at this stage of their career, Guns N' Roses do not really have to hide anything anymore. And if you ask me, they should just release it in public and make quite a lot of money from it. Yeah! The Dead Daisies Glenn Hughes reunion. The Dead Daisies reunited with the legendary Glenn Hughes, but just for a one-off exclusive show which happened this week in St. Charles, Illinois. During the show, the band played quite an unusual setlist that was actually divided into 2 parts. The first part featured Dead Daisies hits and the cover on Creedence Clearwater Revival's Fortunate Son, and the second part was dedicated entirely to Deep Purple. And interestingly enough, not just the Glenn Hughes era of Deep Purple, but also some classics, including Highway Star, Smoke and Water, and Space Truckin', with the band overall playing 20 songs that night. As we all know, this was Glenn Hughes' first appearance together with Dead Daisies on stage since his departure in 2023, and as of right now, the band promises that this is going to be just a one-off event. Yet, seeing how much the fans loved it, I actually have a feeling that we might see a bit more of it in the future. 6 Feet Under's new chapter. A new beginning for 6 Feet Under. Death and Roll veterans announced a surprising lineup change ahead of their European and North American tours. This week, the band revealed on their social media networks that back in May, they already parted ways with their longtime drummer Marco Pitrutella, who'd been playing with them since 2013 and released 4 studio records together with the band, including their latest output, which was released literally just over a month ago. And as of right now, there is still absolutely no information about why exactly it happened, or even whether Pitrutella was fired or left on his own. But one thing is absolutely clear, that this band has no intentions of slowing down whatsoever. As pretty much right away, 6 Feet Under announced the name of their new drummer, who happens to be Rustin Grosse, former drummer of death thrash veterans Master. And it is with him behind the kid with whom the band started the European part of their tour this week, opening an absolutely new chapter of this band. A normal day for Iron Maiden. This week, Iron Maiden once again headlined the legendary Sweden Rock Festival. And among the other crazy things, which we're quite used to at this point, you know, like Steve Harris being 70 years old and playing football matches before going on stage, and all the other things like that, it was also an absolutely normal day in the life of Bruce Dickinson, who was spotted casually driving a tank around the festival grounds.
Really? You can mean we could actually go in a tank and voila.
And honestly, at this point, no one even reacts to these things anymore. Because come on, this is the same man who flew commercial airliners, has flown military personnel home from Afghanistan, holds an honorary rank in the Royal Air Force, fancies Bruce beer, writes books, and somehow still finds time for this little side project called Iron Maiden. So the biggest surprise here is that it's June already, and it's the first time we hear of Bruce Dickinson riding a tank this year.
What an amazing day. Thank you so much. We'll try and return the favour any old time, but in the meantime, I've got to go to work.
And so I actually have an open letter invitation to Bruce Dickinson. Bruce, we all know how much you love aviation, and most of you guys know that in addition to being a metal pilgrim, I also happen to run a heavy metal non-profit, Steel Wings Foundation, right here on the ground in Ukraine, which just happens to be so that helps Ukrainian Air Force quite a lot. And yeah, I do understand that Iron Maiden unfortunately cannot come to Ukraine at this point, but you can in between the shows. And if you do manage to come here, I actually promise you a very special tour. And yes, I am actually serious. But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to like it, comment under it, subscribe to this channel and spread the word about it. And of course, join our communities on Instagram, X, Threads, Discord, Facebook, anywhere you can post content these days. I actually post quite different content on other social media platforms. But most importantly, thank you so much for all your support, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!